I told y'all. Shedeur, Deion Sanders' son, is doing 100% better than Dillon for the Browns. First day of minicamp.
The NFL just got hit with a story so wild, it feels like it was ripped straight out of a sports comedy script. Dillon Gabriel, the young quarterback fighting for relevance, just compared himself to Tom Brady, not just in passing, not just a subtle nod, but in full-blown fashion, claiming he could bring the same leadership, discipline, and winning culture to the Cleveland Browns. Those words set social media ablaze, and Stephen A. Smith wasted zero time torching him on live TV.
Have you ever heard of an audition, Dillon Gabriel?
There's entertainers and there's competitors, and my job is to compete.
You don't know that competition exists everywhere? That's just a dumb, idiotic, entitled statement.
Whoa.
You want to play in front of empty stands? You want to play when nobody's watching? Good luck, bro. Hope you can play under duress and adversity, because it's coming your way after those comments.
Whoa.
The NFL world is buzzing again, and it's all because Dillon Gabriel decided to put himself in the same sentence as the greatest quarterback of all time. Earlier this week, Gabriel dropped his jaw-dropping comments about being capable of building a dynasty like Tom Brady did with the Patriots. It was confidence turned up to 11, a statement so bold it felt less like a prediction and more like a declaration of destiny.
The media, here's the problem. You've now heightened the level of scrutiny coming your way because the media, including myself, heard what you said. So in other words, it's entertainment. It's not competition, really. So when you go out there and you compete like trash, because you will have days when you look like that, we're going to remember those comments.
The claim itself was simple, yet outrageous. Gabriel believes he has the leadership, the discipline, and the ability to instill a winning culture in Cleveland, a franchise that has spent decades grasping at mediocrity. The idea of a rookie quarterback promising to turn the Browns into a dynasty drew instant attention. After all, Tom Brady didn't make such statements even when he was racking up Super Bowls. His game spoke for him. Gabriel, on the other hand, made sure his words got the spotlight.
Maybe you could say Shedeur struggled early, or at least like missed a couple throws, but he was up against ones. As Shedeur settled in and he was going 2s on 2s, 3s on 3s, you saw his play ascend. He got better as the game went on, and he settled in and got comfortable. And I thought Dillon kind of got worse as the game went on and got off of the script.
And once those words hit the airwaves, the internet did what it does best. Social media erupted into chaos. Fans flooded timelines with memes of Gabriel in a Patriots jersey, split-screen graphics of him and Brady, and plenty of sarcastic takes that called the Browns' new quarterback the self-appointed GOAT in waiting. Some Browns fans, desperate for a savior, defended him with passion, saying swagger is what the franchise needs. Others, even within the Browns fan base, rolled their eyes so hard you could almost hear it.
The Browns coaching staff must hate this dude, Shedeur Sanders. The guy had a pretty solid preseason debut.
No turnovers, he protected the ball,
And he made some pretty great passes for touchdowns. Shedeur did not look like a fifth-round QB in that game at all. And then this dude, Dillon Gabriel, proceeds
to throw 2 turnovers
in his preseason debut. But we already know they're going to continue to keep him as the last QB on the depth chart.
For most NFL watchers, the comparison to Brady wasn't just bold, it was downright laughable. Tom Brady built his career over 2 decades of consistency, comebacks, and hardware. Gabriel, meanwhile, has yet to prove himself on the professional stage. That didn't stop the debate from raging. Was Gabriel just showing the confidence every great athlete needs? Or was he exposing himself as delusional before his career even takes off? And then came Stephen A. Smith. If there's one thing guaranteed to light up sports talk television, it's an athlete making a claim so audacious that Stephen A. can sink his teeth into it. The moment Gabriel's comments surfaced, Stephen A. went nuclear. On live TV, he dismantled the young quarterback's remarks with the kind of fiery theatrics that have made him the face of sports debate.
But we don't play college football in the pros, and we don't play without pads on and tackling. So until I see live game action, I'm going to reserve I think my guy can play. I've said it a million times. Yeah, I want to see if Gabriel can play like that too. That's all. I just want to.
Well, turn on the Ohio State game and see if he can play.
Tony, they're not playing Ohio State. They're playing the Bengals in week 1.
Stephen A. reminded everyone that Brady's greatness wasn't just about discipline and leadership. It was about years of execution, relentless winning, and setting standards that no one else has matched. To even compare yourself to him, Stephen A. argued, is to disrespect the mountain of achievements that Brady climbed over 2 decades. Gabriel hasn't even stepped onto the NFL stage as a starter, yet he's already acting like his bust belongs in Canton.
When I watched it, I thought he is better than some people are saying coming out of camp, but he's not as good as Shedeur Sanders. To me, nothing of that performance to me said this is the guy who should be stealing first-team reps while Shedeur is fourth. If anything, I got the impression it should have been opposite. Shedeur should be getting first-team reps, and Gabriel should be the fourth string. And I'm not saying that he can't play at all, but I thought he didn't look as comfortable.
The rant didn't stop there. Stephen A. leaned into the Browns' history, reminding viewers that Cleveland has been a graveyard for quarterback careers. To suggest he could not only survive but thrive enough to bring Brady-like dominance to Cleveland was, in Stephen A.'s view, the definition of premature. The look on the panel's faces as Stephen A. lit up Gabriel's comments said it all. This wasn't just a hot take, it was a firestorm.
Now we're talking about the politics of football. Yeah. Right? Like, I mean, I was playing for Chip Kelly. There's some problem like shit. I'm looking at him like, now you know he shouldn't even be. You know what I'm saying? So let's think about the Browns. Yeah. If you say they're gonna be third stringers anyway, yeah. Now why the hell would I keep Dillon Brooks or Dillon Gabriel?
He's not make the roster though. He's not getting cut.
Whatever it is, I'm just saying if I had to pick one of them.
Yeah, from ownership.
The brilliance of Stephen A.'s critique was that it echoed what so many fans were already thinking but couldn't phrase as eloquently. It wasn't about shutting down a young player's confidence. It was about pointing out the absurdity of leaping from potential to GOAT status without proving anything in between. Confidence is necessary, but arrogance without results makes for great television fodder, not great careers.
Undefeated. 5 people other than Dillon Gabriel were drafted this year from the Ducks. 2 tackles, 1 running back, 1 tight end, 1 receiver. Colorado had 3 other people go. All 3 Buffaloes drafted were receivers. Whose job is it to give the receivers the opportunity to catch the ball to get the stats? The quarterback. 2 of those 3 receivers wouldn't have been drafted if it weren't for Shedeur, Travis Hunter being the only exception. Shedeur.
Now, the big question. What does this do to Dillon Gabriel's image? On one hand, bold statements can fuel attention and raise a player's profile. In an NFL where media narratives often make or break careers, Gabriel has put himself in the spotlight faster than most rookies could dream of. His comments may rally teammates who want to believe in a quarterback with conviction, or at the very least, inject some swagger into a locker room often plagued by disappointment. On the flip side, he's put a target squarely on his back. Every interception, every blown drive, every game where he looks less than stellar will be judged against the standard he set for himself, the Tom Brady standard. By elevating his own bar this high, Gabriel risks being laughed at more than he's respected, and the unforgiving NFL fanbase has a long memory.
The truth is about these guys, I have 2 strong opinions. I think Dillon Gabriel's size is an issue. I would have a hard time building around him. He's small. He's serious and he's businesslike. I like his temperament more than Shedeur, who's silly and kind of goofy. But I think Shedeur was underdrafted. Shedeur is bigger. I think he moves well. I would choose Shedeur.
The Cleveland Browns, as a franchise, are no strangers to quarterback drama. From high draft picks that flamed out to veterans who never panned out, they've seen it all. Gabriel's comments add another chapter to this ongoing saga. If he delivers, he could cement himself as a savior. If he fails, these words will be replayed for years to come as the ultimate example of rookie overconfidence. This moment also ties into the bigger conversation around the culture of confidence in the NFL. Young players are stepping into the league in the era of social media, where every word, every post, every comparison is amplified. Once upon a time, rookies kept their heads down, worked, and let results do the talking. Now, one bold statement can spark headlines across the country. Gabriel is far from the first to make big promises before proving himself, but rarely do players aim this high, this soon.
Of doing something revolutionary, pulled an oblique muscle, and couldn't go. Saturday, in the Browns' second preseason game.
There are examples of players who talked big and backed it up, like Joe Namath famously guaranteeing a Super Bowl victory. There are also countless others who shot their mouths off, only to fade into obscurity. The line between confidence and arrogance is razor thin, and Gabriel's words have put him on the wrong side of that line in the eyes of many. Still, the NFL thrives on these moments. The league is a soap opera as much as it is a sport, and bold claims fuel storylines that fans devour. Gabriel may have earned himself a starring role in the offseason narrative, and Stephen A. Smith's takedown only amplifies it. Whether that narrative ends with redemption or ridicule is up to Gabriel's performance when the games begin.
Now, I can talk all I want. Let's bring statistics into it. Dillon Gabriel passed for 3,800 yards with 30 touchdowns, getting sacked 21 times with a 72% completion percentage. Shedeur threw for 4,100 yards with a higher completion percentage, more touchdowns, getting sacked double the amount of times that Dillon Gabriel did. Shedeur gaps Gabriel. This shouldn't be a conversation. I rest my case.
And that's where the story really turns. Words can only carry a player so far. Once the season kicks off, Gabriel's every snap, every throw, every leadership moment will be scrutinized under the microscope of his Brady comparison. If he delivers even flashes of brilliance, fans will rally. If he stumbles, the internet will replay Stephen A's roast endlessly. The NFL world is watching, and the stakes couldn't be higher for Dillon Gabriel. He's put himself in the spotlight, invited comparisons to the greatest of all time, and triggered one of the most animated sports commentators in the business. Now, all that's left is to see if he can walk the talk on the field.